Congratulations for the challenge ahead. Hoping to come out of the gates strong. And with...
Kevin, thank you.
Indeed. Something special, David. Thanks. Well, a chance to check out some stats for Paul George.
And he's lost some of his feel for the three-point shot. It's been a tough month for him from long range compared to earlier in the season. And now he might be starting to press, which can lead to even more problems.
And the Clippers starting five. Jackson is out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Batum in at the four-man position. And for Dallas, Kleba is the four with Porzingis in the middle. Doncic out there with Josh Richardson. And it's Finney-Smith in at the three, the small forward. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Last time they met was in Dallas, where they beat the Mavericks.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Here's Doncic. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on George.
And it was interesting how the Dallas franchise sold its fans on Doncic. Ownership told them, think of a 6'7" Steve Nash. Isn't quite the shooter Steve was, but is only a teenager. Great vision. Boy, he can really pass it. And it turns out Doncic is all of that and more. And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
This is his first trip to the line tonight, and he knocks down the first one.
The consummate team player. Paul George is an excellent leader, and he's cool to let others lead also.
Richardson the pass to Doncic. Wide open look. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. And even Nash himself called Doncic a dream prospect.
Yeah, it said Luka was big and mobile enough in the modern game, can guard multiple positions, has a skill set, a winning mentality, and those leadership qualities. Steve Nash sounding like a future GM.
Basket good. Doncic has got 6.
And with good length and athleticism, Doncic not only gets to the rim, but boy, can he finish.
Here's George. Zubac trying to break loose. The shot by George, no good.
Not the efficient start they were hoping for. Only 1 for 4 from the field.
Last outing for the Clippers, they won that game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
You know what it is? That's good advanced scouting. They knew what they were in for, and they were ready.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Here's Richardson. Makes it off the glass.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
They're doing it by building it out, step by step, valuing each possession.
On the wing, George. And stolen by Richardson. And they're running. Here's Finney-Smith. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And that's how you start the fast break. Josh Richardson forcing the turnover. He did that in college, and he's doing it now.
Nobody near George. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Richardson against George. And finished off by Kristaps Porzingis.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
I'll tell you, this was their strategy coming in. They obviously identified a weakness there inside.
And the dunk by Zubac.
Well, Paul knows the defense is locked in on him, so he takes advantage and finds the open man.
The drive by Doncic. Batum scanning the floor. Leonard, nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
And Doncic gets it to go. Doncic has got 10 points.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And Dallas going with a whole new group out there. And then for Los Angeles, Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Zubac. And it's Williams in for Paul George. Here's Jackson. Mavericks with the rebound. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And that was a tough one. They expected to play well and did, just not well enough.
I think they had some key takeaways from that one. Things they did well and things they can improve upon.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Here's Brunson. Misses from close range. Clippers trail by 7. Throws it up high. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
You could see Patterson just track that in the air the whole way. You knew he would finish the oop.
Williams against Brunson. In the corner, Powell with it. 1 second left, and the dunk by Powell.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA. The lead is what it is right now.
It's a backbreaker for your defense, giving up easy buckets like that.
We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports and always exciting. And guys, what's your take so far on the Mavs?
Well, they've been aggressive from the beginning, particularly on the offensive end.
And that has helped them build an advantage here, playing with good focus and good energy.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. Paul George is out there with Reggie Jackson. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's man in at the small forward position. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Clippers. 7-point differential. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. A new generation of players, Greg, coming into the NBA alongside your son Cole. We've got a lot of players who I think are going to have a long-term impact on this game.
There's no doubt about it. Listen, I hope Cole can have the kind of impact that some of these guys are, but look at the Grizzlies. I think they got 2 terrific ones. Ja Morant has superstar written all over him. Brandon Clark probably surprised some people with his ability to have an impact. And if you look at this past draft, Obi Toppin is one to watch. This is a guy with great size and length who was a perimeter player until he had a growth spurt. So those are the types of players that I think when you combine athleticism and skill with the way the court is spaced, man, can have a tremendous impact in this game.
Luka Doncic, he's checked in for the Mavericks. On the wing, Morris. George up top. Guarded by Hardaway. Zubac trying to break loose. George with the bucket.
Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
The drive by Doncic. Powell, that's good. Powell's got his second bucket of the night.
One sign of a great playmaker, hitting his man in stride.
There's the pass to Morris. It's George on the wing, guarded by Hardaway.
I mean, you won't see this too often. Getting denied at the rim. He's likely to remember that one.
Doncic with the bucket.
And you can tell that Doncic loves leaking out. They're able to get to the right spot there in transition.
Now, here's George. He had 15 points last outing. The putback, great positioning on the putback.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Dallas leading by 3. And here is Doncic. He's coming off a 25-point game against the Clippers.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
He's hot this quarter, getting the shots he wants, and he's delivering.
No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. A quick shot there, and it's off target.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
power move from PG-13. He's added a lot of muscle to his frame over the years, putting it to good use right there.
That one drops. He ties it up.
The homecoming for Paul George, playing in LA with the Clippers. They gave up a king's ransom to OKC. 5 first-round picks and Danilo Gallinari and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Porzingis is checked in for Powell. Maxi Kleber comes in for James Johnson. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for Jalen Brunson. And it's Richardson in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Williams, 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
And guys, the Clippers were willing to give almost anything for PG because they basically got Kawhi Leonard in the deal as well.
And let's remember, GA, he could have been a Laker. They would have had to trade away the 2nd pick in the 2017 draft, that or Brandon Ingram. Their loss became the Clippers' gain.
Doncic against George. Doncic kicks to Finney-Smith. They get it back.
Yeah, good job. Just staying alert there, snatching up that long rebound.
Here's George. Yes, it's good. Good for basket number 4. He's now 4 for 10.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's his first foul. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Maxi Kleber. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard comes in for George. Doncic, no good. A chance at a 2 for 1 if they want it.
If I'm them, I try it.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
That's lit right there, courtesy of Kawhi's natural explosiveness.
There's 37 seconds left here in the second. Doncic looking it over. The shot's good. Doncic has got 6 here in this quarter.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Here's the thing. He's a guy who will go on hot streaks for you over a number of games.
Here's Williams. Second chance shot. Back to Kennard. Over in the corner, Williams. And the layup's good off the glass. Williams has got the lead up to 7 now for the Clippers.
You see the toughness of Williams. Won't shy away from contact.
And here's Doncic from the arc. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. The first quarter didn't play out the way the Clippers had hoped. A big part of the problem was their defense and inability. And
it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
Kleber is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Josh Richardson out there with Doncic. And it's Finney-Smith in at the small forward. So that's who Rick Carlisle starts the second half. Doncic passes to Porzingis. Back to Doncic. Basket number 8 for him on 13 tries. That's 62% so far.
And it just seems when Doncic turns it on, it's a sight to see. Incredible at scoring in a variety of ways. Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
And he rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. And Doncic, here we go. Yep, that one goes in there. Doncic has got 4 points this quarter.
Guys, you never know what you'll see when you're watching Luka Doncic. His offensive creativity is through the roof.
Zubac trying to break loose, and they're able to recover. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way, and the shot goes in.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
And Greg, Josh Richardson's a terrific ball handler out on the wing who can create for others.
Richardson gets a lot of assists per game at that wing position, not just looking to finish plays, but also to create for others. Very well-rounded threat on the offensive end, and that gives this team another dimension in terms of playmaking.
Richardson, no luck.
Even though that one didn't go down, I like the offensive game plan here. 3 for 4 coming out of the break.
Mavericks trail by 7. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Super assertive on the offensive end. Something Josh has worked on, and it's paid off.
The Mavericks shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dwight Powell's checked in for Porzingis. Johnson comes in for Maxi Kleber. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s. Oh, that was something else.
So explosive with the dunk. Kawhi Leonard gets up quick to slam it down.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Clippers leading by 7. Powell pulls it in. Here's Richardson, and it's Richardson slamming it down.
You see the mentality of Josh Richardson. Be aggressive and leave no doubt.
On the wing, Williams. Johnson against Morris. He kicks to Leonard. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
The dribble drive, yet another tool in Leonard's extensive arsenal, earns him a trip to the line.
The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. Mavericks making a switch here. Burks is checked in. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Los Angeles. And here's Brunson. He'll bring it up for Dallas. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And it's Johnson with the jam.
You've got to trust your receiver to go get that pass. Great job by Johnson. The ability to catch and finish in the same motion.
Williams looking over the floor. Kennard on the wing. Morris outside. Here's Williams. 6 on the shot clock. He gets that one.
That's a nice read. The value of keeping your eyes up.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the 3rd quarter of play now. Burke lays it up off the glass. Burke's got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Using his athleticism in the paint, Lou beats everyone to the punch.
Brunson against Williams. Goes up again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on Patrick Patterson. The Mavericks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Leonard. And good on the 2nd, so he makes them both. Clippers leading by 4. Outside Williams. The pass to Patterson. Count that one. Patterson's got his 2nd basket of the night.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Brunson the pass to Pop. And no good that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. And Trey Burke gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Williams against Doncic. Outside Williams. Just 5 to shoot. Throws it up high. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Look at that!
I'm leaving. I'm gone.
Seems like everyone's taking long threes these days, but Doncic has natural power in those legs, generates range with ease.
And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far. Clippers lead by 3. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter.
Look, you can score, but we're getting some...
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the fourth quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Batum is out there with Paul George. And there's Jackson. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Zubac in at the 5. Outside, George launches it. Zubac trying to break loose. The shot by George, no good. Mavericks trailed by 3. Here's Doncic. And now the fast break. George with the ball. Can't hit from in close.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
And it's Doncic missing. Clippers leading by 3. Down low. A nice shot by George. George has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Los Angeles. Up top, Doncic. Defended by George. They get the rebound. Cauley Stein. Excellent D there from George. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Second shot opportunity. Zubac kicks to George. Drills it from outside. George has got 20 points.
Capable of flat out torching you. Once PG-13 gets into a groove, watch out.
Here's Doncic. And it's good for 2. 25 points in the game.
And the D not really doing its job there. A little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint.
The Clippers in the lead. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. And it's George missing.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Up again. It's good on the putback.
You know we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Up top, Zubac. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists tonight.
Great timing. That can be the difference between an assist and a turnover.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And he comes up with the deuce. Doncic has got 11 in the second half.
How about the poise from Doncic right there? He ups the ante when it's a critical possession here in the game.
George looking around.
Excellent box out there, keeping himself between the man and the basket.
Porzingis with the ball, guarded now by Jackson. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Kristaps Porzingis. On the wing, Batum. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
So much riding on that possession. Just a huge shot. What determination on that play.
And guys, the intelligence is evident. When the pick comes, Doncic often makes the right read.
Outside, George. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession.
How big is that? Or should I say, how big might that become? Just a brutal mistake.
And the Clippers making a change here. Leonard's checked in. The Mavericks have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Jackson down low. Burke covering. Zubac outside for Batum. Left side, George. Shot clock at 5. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. That one rolling around and rims out.
I like the aggressiveness. What I don't like is the lack of efficiency.
Burke can't get it to go.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And you know, we always talk about this. Just changing the shot can be just as effective as blocking it, even though it's less spectacular.
George against Doncic. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Their biggest lead of the game was 9, and so they choose to intentionally foul. And here are the Clippers now. They lead by 4. 20 seconds left in the fourth. And stolen by Burke.
Good eyes by the defense. Clearly, that's not where he wanted the pass to go, and he's frustrated.
Big-time basket at a big-time moment.
This is why we all watch. The NBA is about these moments.
And an intentional foul right there.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
It's the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
With Kawhi, you love his talent, but just as important, you love the basketball IQ and work ethic. Big moment at the line. As poised as you get, this thing is done.
So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. This was all. David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For
champion, and now you're a My Team Unlimited $250,000 tournament champion. Which one was more nerve-wracking, and what does this mean for your competitive legacy?
I think nerve-wracking, I would say about this.
Downtown Los Angeles. That's the location for the Clippers. Shooting and defense will be on display. The wing pair of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George put their team up. We hope you're wearing the green today on this. Taking a look here at some of the numbers for Paul George.
And he's lost some of his feel for the three-point shot. It's been a tough month for him from long range compared to earlier in the season. And now he might be starting to press, which can lead to even more problems.
Here are the 5 for the Clippers. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Ivica Zubac is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. And it's Jackson in at the point guard position. And for the Lakers, Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Morris is out there with Marc Gasol. And it's Schroeder in at the 1 spot. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers from deep. And Paul George, good for the 3. George has got his team on the board to start the game for the Clippers. Schroeder dishes to Caldwell Pope, wants to get it to Zubac, and does. And George, here we go. Bucket is good. George has got 5 points so far.
Boy, how about the deceptive strength of George fending off the defense exceedingly well there and taking the ball strong to the rack.
Caldwell Pope finds James. Rebound by the Clippers. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And you gotta love a team that can maintain its composure on the road, take good shots, and knock them down with confidence.
Well, efficiency is critical, and I love how they ran their offense and got quality shots out of their sets.
Caldwell Pope with it. George picks him up. And the wide open shot from Morris. And again, unable to change momentum here. And again, Paul George. 9 points in the game so far. Do you remember, Greg, if you watched the standings very much when you played?
You know, we were always aware of it, and a lot of that had to do with the goals. I remember early in my career playing for the Knicks, you know, we were trying to win championships, and we talked a lot about home court and having that come postseason time. So you were absolutely aware of where you were because of the goals you set, but I think that also changes depending on who you are as a team. You know, if you're a championship caliber team that's won it, and maybe you're in the midst of a dynasty run, it may not matter as much because you know how good you are and you can win no matter where the venue.
Here's James. Goes back up. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. And we've watched a pretty interesting season unfolding in the Western Conference, guys. Let's check out the standings here. Look at the Lakers. They're holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. And, of course, the Clippers, a game and a half out.
And I think for the Lakers, they had a few critics coming into the season, and now I don't think they have any. This is a club ready to not only make a deep run, but possibly win it all.
They do have the pieces in place for a title run, but the competition in the playoffs will be stiff.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
And stolen by James. Fast break, the Lakers, and now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. Paul George comes in for Williams. Caruso kicks to Jones. 4 on the clock. Here's Harrell. And that comes off the assist by Jones.
And improving as a shot maker every year. Harrell has to be accounted for defensively.
It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Guys, I tell you what, feels like everything is coming easy to him. Just taking what he sees and capitalizing.
Kuzma outside. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Horton Tucker, the pass to Caruso. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Passes it to Zubac. Here's George. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
You know, throughout this quarter, guys, they've had no answer for him defensively. And he's been absolutely relentless.
Paul George with the steal. Now the Clippers moving it up. Jackson's got the ball.
Hey, it's one thing to have the physical attributes, the length, the athleticism, to play good defense. But the other part of it is the instincts. And George thinks and feels things defensively as well as anybody in the league. And really, excellent instincts at that end of the floor.
Lakers trail by 9. Caruso, the pass to Harrell. To the paint, stolen by Zubac. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Nicholas Batum with the slam.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, they're doing everything right. How about that? I mean, this could turn into a blowout very quickly.
Here's Caruso.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there.
And so he makes both from the line. Williams looking around. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
And, you know, establishing that physical dominance early gives you a big mental edge, too. Don't discount that.
And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. Right back after... And we return to the second quarter, and Noche Latina specialized jerseys on display. Welcome back, everyone. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Setting the floor for the Clippers. They've got Batum, Reggie Jackson out there with Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Zubac in at the center position. That one doesn't go, and it's the Clippers taking it the other way. They went to Los Angeles for their last meeting with the Lakers and came out with a victory.
And they got the better of this matchup last time with their defensive pressure and the ability to force turnovers.
And that really was the difference. I mean, it requires a ton of energy to play that harassing style. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it again tonight.
To the inside. And it's Harrell missing. Clippers leading by 13. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
And, you know, once George gets on the roll, he's just absolutely relentless, showing you how dominant he can be when he gets hot.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Caruso, the pass to Kuzma. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
You know, body him up all you want. It doesn't bother Kyle Kuzma. He's got great competitive spirit and skill.
Pass to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. George passes to Zubac. Shoots the 3. And Jones pulls it down. Lakers trail by 13. Kuzma finds Jones. And that one drops.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Now George. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Mavericks in Dallas. Kuzma pulls it in.
Boy, that's a look he has to finish, and he knows it. Lone opportunity.
And Harrell slams it in.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up.
And that's what those alley-oops will do for a team. Ignition, switch, ignited.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Well, the superstar players always get the headlines, but you need more great role players, it seems, as you look at the history of champions, to win. So that being said, Greg, what kind of role players do you look for?
You know, Kevin, it starts on your best player, and I think you go from there. Obviously, in today's game, spot-up shooting is critically important, and then you got to factor in versatility. You need guys that can guard multiple positions, that give you some rim protection, but obviously that can also shoot the basketball. And I think it's critical having that instant offense guy coming off the bench as well to when your team's in a bit of a funk, somebody you can trust to kind of light a fire.
Good point.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Yeah, you know, when you're looking to close the gap, you need guys who will take it upon themselves to step up, take the initiative, and make something happen.
And so James will bring it up for the Lakers. They trail by 9 points. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
Yeah, you know, not deviating from the game plan is critical. You got to trust in the system.
The shot's good from Gasol.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Right side, Williams. Rebounded by the Lakers.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. You got to appreciate that stop.
And James throws it down.
Beautiful job closing the gap here. Let's see if they can sustain this run.
This game was in danger of getting away from them. They've made a nice push to keep it close.
Williams gets the bucket.
You know, defenders like to try to get physical with Williams. I'll tell you what, his strength belies his size.
Gasol dishes to James. The rebound by Patterson. Gasol picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for the Lakers. Clippers leading by 7. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Back to Williams. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight. Lakers have gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field. Schroeder passes to Gasol. Back to Schroeder. To the middle. No good with the layup. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers.
Thank you very much. Lou, in the first half, your offense was clicking. What was the difference getting off?
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He ended up with 19 points and 1 steal. And let us get your... And...
And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. It's been one outstanding game from George.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. Taking a look at the Lakers. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Gasol is out there with Morris, and it's Schroeder in at the point guard. Leonard attacking, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And he moves so well. When Leonard drives the lane, it's pretty much a guaranteed bucket. Terrific body control, and he plays with the ultimate force.
Here's James, and finished off by LeBron.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture-perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league.
And James throws it down hard.
Tell you what, just add that one to the highlight reel. James is truly one of the greatest slam dunkers of all time.
Jackson finds Leonard. George looking around. Pass to Batum. Just 5 on the clock. And there's George. That's good on the assist from Batum. George has got 4 points now in the quarter.
They found a nice groove in this half, starting out 3 for 4.
Caldwell Pope against George. Batum with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Here's the lob to the hoop. And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
Yeah, I love the court awareness from Kawhi there. Dependable at getting it to his uncovered teammates.
Jackson against Schroeder. James in the post. Outside for Caldwell Pope. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Zubac. Batum passes to George. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. And he hammers that one down right in the face of Marc Gasol.
Yeah, you know, George really enjoys being in the air. I mean, this guy has great body control and bounce, and his slams at times can be absolutely sick.
Gasol dishes to Caldwell Pope. Shot left block, and he gets the jumper to drop.
Man, what a pass that was there. He really, really relishes making the game easier for his teammates.
George against Caldwell Pope, and it's George finishing it off.
Boy, George has major hops. I mean, this guy just gets up big time for these throwdowns.
Schroeder finds Gasol. Back to Schroeder. In the corner, it's James. Paul George with the steal. Leonard with the ball. He's picked up by LeBron. George. And the rejection by James. Now the Lakers on the break. Back to Gasol. Kicks it out to James. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. LeBron's got 10 points.
Not going to miss many chances from that range. That's LeBron's wheelhouse there.
Jackson drives in. That shot off. So the Lakers will take it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. And that'll be the third of the fourth straight at home.
And that's exactly what they need to do right now. I mean, just attack the basket. And, hey, if you get fouled, maybe you get some free throws out of it.
Here's George, and it's blocked.
Caldwell Pope showing us excellent timing there, using his length well on defense.
James looking it over. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
Yeah, the first half was 1 to deep 6 or forget. But in the second half, he's looked a lot better.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
So for the Clippers. Outside Williams. Count that bucket. 10 points for him.
So savvy inside for a player of his size and tough. Williams will do whatever it takes.
Off target with that shot. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the LA. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. So for the Clippers right now, Lou Williams out there with Kennard. Then there's Patrick Patterson. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's man in at the 3. Timeout called the Lakers.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during that last timeout, I listened to Frank Vogel talk to his team. He said, if we're going to pull this out, we have to do it as a team. We have to rely on one another, trust one another, and help one another. Let's go get this. Kevin, back to you.
Well, there are only a handful of players who've been on the line more often than LeBron, and no surprise, every one of them a Hall of Famer. That's where he's headed to.
And it's Williams with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. It falls for the 6th time in 7 tries this contest. That's 86%.
Sliding his way inside. Williams taking advantage of that late reaction by the defense.
James, the pass to Harrell. And Harrell slams it in.
And this guy, to me, embodies determination. Small at his position, but he still gets up and keeps plays alive. That's mind over matter for sure.
Here's Williams. Oh, and he pops it off the glass. Wow. And that's an intentional foul. A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Lakers trail by 8. On the wing, James. Just over a minute played here in the 4th. And that one drops for him. James has got 13 points in the second half.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Here's George. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
I like how George looks for contact. He kind of seeks it out. He doesn't back away from the hard physical contact. He knows he's going to get a chance to get to the line when he does take the contact.
He hits the second from the line. 4th quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Harrell kicks to Caruso. The pass to Kuzma. Lakers passing it around. Leonard with the steal. George with the ball. Knocked away. Now the Lakers on the break. Here's James, and the dunk by James.
Yeah, you know, LeBron plays a very mistake-free game, usually in the open court, and when he's out on the break, the points are almost a guarantee.
Jackson looking it over. It's George on the wing. From the arc. Nailed from three-point land. George has got 31.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
James wide open. From outside off the mark. Clippers leading by 8. Leonard kicks to George. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And the Lakers with some changes. Marc Gasol's checked in for Montrezl Harrell. Markieff Morris comes in for Kyle Kuzma. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Alex Caruso. To the paint. Gasol finds James. Over Leonard. And the Lakers with another miss. The Clippers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. And George, here we go. Here's Zubac. There's the dish to George. It's George on the wing. 6 to shoot. Goes back up. Almost, but it rolls out.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Yeah, first and foremost, he's a pass-first team player. It's Caldwell Pope. Love seeing that.
George against Caldwell Pope. Now here is George. Tight defense on him. And George with the stuff.
Great speed displayed by George on his way to the bucket. Devastating to the defense with those dunking skills of his.
LeBron passes to Gasol. It's good.
You love how each side has risen to the challenge throughout this one.
Hey, defense is taking a back burner, secondary on the marquee, but who doesn't love a game like this? Let's go. I like offense.
Outside, George. .51 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. James with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Outside, George. And stolen by James.
This is a do-or-die possession. They have got to get points.
It really does come down to this. I mean, come up empty, and it's over.
That one wide left. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Jackson kicks to Leonard, passes it to George. Left side, Jackson. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And there's George. That's good on the assist by Jackson.
And, you know, that's one of George's go-to shots. He's a three-point shooter who spaces the floor well.
So the Clippers with the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was... Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's... Before we get...
Well, guys,
He's certainly come a long way, D.A. Thanks. And let's now take a look at some of the numbers for Paul George.
And he's lost some of his feel for the three-point shot. It's been a tough month for him from long range compared to earlier in the season. And now he might be starting to press, which can lead to even more problems.
Here are the five for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then there's Jackson. Then it's Paul George. And it's Zubac in at the center position. And for the Trailblazers, pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Jones. And it's Cantor in at the 5 spot. And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame.
And one thing that I don't think Dame Lillard gets enough recognition for, he's an absolutely fantastic leader for this team, the exact kind of captain you would want.
Dame Lillard doesn't do anything with regards to making excuses for some of the reasons why the team may come up short All he's concerned with is how can we get better. That's the kind of leader you can get behind.
And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles. And that one's good, Leonard.
And that's the high motor, the long strides we're always talking about with Leonard, killing it in transition.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Bangs home the trifecta.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Now, here's George. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
Yeah, but there's always this point you got to look at where did he also impact the game. It was on the rebounding end of the floor. A tremendous performance there.
And so here's Portland. The Clippers getting the bucket, and Lillard gets it to go.
Very few players, if any, score more points than Lillard as a pick-and-roll ball handler.
George against McCollum. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Here's Lillard. Again, the Trailblazers good for two. Clippers have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Here's George. No good on that one. Good D by McCollum.
Now, one player sometimes can drag down your offense, and he seems to be an anchor here in this quarter.
Count it.
Like the execution there from Cantor. Usually likes to score, this time with the pass.
Here's George following the basket by C.J. McCollum. George against McCollum. And Covington sends it back. A different look for the Clippers. Patterson each checked in for Batum. Lou Williams is subbed in for George. In the corner, it's Patterson. Shot clock at 6. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. A 3-ball. And Cantor pulls it down.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Anthony kicks to Lillard. Over Williams. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Well, they shouldn't be giving that shot to anyone, but they certainly shouldn't be giving it to him. That's a big break for the defense.
You know, at this point of the year, what's the main thing Brent, a head coach, has to do to keep his team focused for the second half of the season?
I think at this point, the foundation that you've laid should be there. So now what you try to do is schematically, maybe you go through some different defensive coverages. You try some different combinations of players to make sure that guys can make that adaptability quick enough that if that becomes part of a playoff scheme, you're ready for it.
Here's Simons. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Jackson down low. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Passes it to Mann. And stolen by Hood. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. 1:12 left to play in the first quarter. The dish now to Anthony. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
Yeah, Hood does a good job there of surveying the floor and being ready to deliver the pass.
Outside, Batum. Jackson passes to Mann. Here's George. Here's Patterson. Ooh, the double clutch. And no good. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. They defeated the Pelicans in their last game.
And for me, guys, that's what I call a character game. I mean, they could have closed up shop. It would have been easy to just let that one go and get ready for the next one. But they fought back. I mean, and that mental fortitude that they displayed there is one of the reasons why they're such a good team. And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Here's Simons. Can't get it to fall.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
And Nicholas Batum with the slam.
When you're a veteran player like Paul George, you understand that even 24 seconds is a long time. Great patience to wait for that play.
Here's Simons. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. The Trailblazers shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. And the Clippers making a change here. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
The Clippers have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. The first one falls.
And Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing. And his defense, always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. Clippers ahead. Damian Lillard told us before the game when asked how he stays
humble beginnings. You know, I'm from.
Well, some of the best stories in our league are about guys who struggled to get to where they are today.
And I really hope the young guys out there are listening to this. You don't have to be a 5-star prospect to achieve your dreams.
And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
I mean, the rebounding was the difference in that first period. You've got to block these guys out.
Yeah, rebounding can also be just about will, and they showed some of that in going in there and collecting some boards.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court right now for the Trailblazers, they've got Enes Kanter. Derek Jones is out there with Robert Covington. Then there's McCollum, and it's Simons in at the point guard position. Damian Lillard, he's checked in for Anfernee Simons.
And right now, they're just focused on putting together good possessions.
Yeah, that's exactly how they got the lead. They ended up having multiple possessions in a row with good quality shots, knocked them down, and the game is fully in their control.
Lillard with the bucket.
Always an appreciation for Lillard and his build, just how rugged he is, along with that fearlessness.
Well, you look at the career that Dame Lillard has had so far. Taken 6th in the 2012 draft out of Weber State, a small school, but this guy became a franchise player immediately for the Blazers. They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Lillard against Williams. And it's Lillard missing.
And they continue to control the glass.
And thinking of Lillard, the numbers over his career are incredible.
And Lillard found his strength as a shooter, and boy, did he exploit it. He's been averaging 20 points per game almost his entire career, and he's kept adding to his game as one of the elite players in our league.
Kicks it out to Jones. Williams against Lillard. Los Angeles leading by 9. It's tipped. It's stolen by Jones. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. And the basket by McCollum.
Well, CJ, as soon as he gets a step on you, you're pretty much done. Aggressive right there in transition.
On the wing, Morris. Back to Williams. Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
Lillard up top. He's guarded by Williams. And it's Lillard missing. Clippers have gone a sensational 5 of 5 from the field since the start of the second quarter. Morris takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. And now it's an 11-point Clipper lead. And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for Portland. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. Plays it up and banks it in. Lillard's got 11 points.
I don't think he even feels that kind of contact. His focus is just too good inside. Nothing a defense can do.
Clippers leading by 9. Morris outside. Leonard looking over the floor. And finished off by Leonard.
Well, not much you can do to stop that. Leonard showing once again his physical prowess at the 10.
Lillard against Williams. And there's the call on Lou Williams. That's his first foul. So Portland ends up going with the new group. And then for Los Angeles, Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Morris. Paul George comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Jackson in for Williams. From outside the arc, Portland again missing.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And it's George missing. Trailblazers trail by 11. Here's Little, and it's Little finishing it off.
Melo good at scanning the entire floor, and that's why that time he found the open teammate.
Outside, George. That one falls.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
Here's Simons. And he drops it in from the low post.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's George. Zubac trying to break loose. And a missed layup.
He creates such a great opportunity right at the rim, and he just can't get it to go. Even with the defense not really a factor. Of all the action happening there, it's the assist that jumps out to me there. That's just a great look and a great setup for the bucket.
Here's George. Tries again. And that one is good from Zubac. Zubac has got 6 points.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, Beth. And the greatest bench scorer in NBA history. And that.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. One guy who's getting it done is Lillard.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
Checking out the group for Tyronn Lue to start the second half. Ivica Zubac is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in at the point. A lot of great talkers over the years. Trash talkers on the floor in this league. Do you think they do it more to get themselves going, Greg? Or do they do it with the purpose of getting under their opponent's skin?
And Kevin, that's a great question. And believe it or not, you see both. I've seen guys who do it to get under your skin, and I've also seen guys that do it for their own benefit. That's how they derive their confidence. And so it's about you figuring out what works for you. I've seen some guys, they don't say smack. They don't say a word during the course of the game, but they will cut your heart out. So it's just about what fits your personality in terms of making you play your best.
Well, I'm glad you don't trash talk here on 2K, Greg. I'll tell you that right now.
No, we don't do that part.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Cantor controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And not wasting any time here, kicking their offense right back into gear. That's 3 of 4 from the field.
The three from George trains the three-pointer. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
A lot of points coming from Paul George from the three-point line over the past couple seasons. The D has to play out on him, and that creates the space.
Lillard misses.
Well, if he wants to make the defense work, he's got to start knocking down the threes. Only one so far in this game for him, and none since halftime. Yeah, they've only missed 1 out of their first 5 shots here in the second half, guys. Their offense really moving well, ball snapping, and the shooting looks to be in great rhythm.
And it's sent back by George.
Not many guys have the two-way ability of a Paul George, just as dangerous defensively as he can be offensively.
Here's Lillard. Makes that one fall. It's his 8th bucket in 15 shot attempts.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
George against McCollum. Now here is George, guarded closer. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. Covington with the ball. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And there's George. That's good on the assist by Jackson. George has got the lead up to 11 now for Los Angeles. Lillard outside. Over George. That one off the back iron and out. Clippers have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Tips it. And George able to finish. George has got 13.
Well, it's nice to see Paul George make a read, be in the right position to collect that loose ball and do something with it.
George against Lillard. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
And their last game, a tight win, and it was the success at the foul line that played a huge part in it, and he was probably the deciding factor.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. Williams passes to Morris. Williams dishes to Morris. Just 5 to shoot, and stolen by Lillard. Now here's Hood. Defense is right there.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Los Angeles shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
First free throw is good. Simons, he's checked in for Lillard. And so he hits both. And Simons has got the ball here for Portland. It's a 13-point game. Down low, Little, and it's Little finishing it off.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points. Here's Williams, banked in off the glass. He has 6.
Such a dynamic scorer, inside, outside, it really doesn't matter. Lou Williams is a huge threat to score, especially coming off the bench.
Anthony against Morris. Here's Little. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Little's got 4 this quarter.
And he's been terrific tonight, and with a little help from the other guys on the floor, they might be able to turn this game around.
It's stolen. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Now here's Williams. He's got 6. And he gets the whip. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Lou Williams and that wisdom gives a boost to the confidence of the entire team, someone the younger guys look up to.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over.
Whether things are good, bad, or indifferent, coaches will have adjustments to make throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, not just there to pump up or to discipline players. You got to make sure that the coach makes the proper adjustments and has his team in the right mindset to carry it out.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Clippers lead by 11. Don't go. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. They've got Anthony. He's out there with Jones. And it's Cantor in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group on the floor for Portland. Simons surveying the D. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on Patrick Patterson.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done different, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning a championship.
I can understand both of those.
Yes.
Here's Jones, and the shot goes down. Jones has got his first points in this one.
Love the patience from Covington. Lets the situation develop and then delivers a perfect strike.
On the wing, George. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. And it's George finishing it off.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
McCollum. It's not going to go for him. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way. And there's the whistle, called a clear path foul there. Yep. And he'll shoot 2 at the line. And he makes the first.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
And George drops them both.
Think about Paul George in his second year in the NBA being named the most improved player. He's just gotten better from that point. And you don't have to win an award every year to prove it.
Lillard's checked in for Portland. Here's George. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And it's Patterson finishing it off. Here's Lillard. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. And Cantor able to finish.
A key rebound there, but they can do a little better on the glass here down the stretch.
On the wing, Batum. Clippers moving the ball around. McCollum against George. Outside, Batum. 6 on the shot clock. And George, here we go. And there it is for him. George has got 15 points here in the second half.
Not sure which clips they watched at halftime, but he has figured out how to attack the D, and they kept him in check in the first half. He's flipped it.
Lillard, the pass to Cantor. And it's Lillard missing. Clippers leading by 16. Outside, George. And Leonard has it in the corner. It's Jackson atop the key. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. And the Clippers lead by 18.
You know, a lot of times we talk about good passing, but accurate passing is a huge quality of a good pass, and Leonard did it there.
Lillard from deep three-point land. Lillard again missing.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Batum against Cantor. On the wing, Jackson. Inside. Patterson, that's good.
Well, Patterson usually on the perimeter. This time down on the inside, doing a little bit of damage.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Los Angeles.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for George.
Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
From deep, George. And it's George again missing. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Well, at this point, they're just trying to get back in sync. You want to play a good brand of basketball.
The consistency definitely is a key to some of the playoff performing teams, and tonight they just did not find it in this contest.
Here's man. 26 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Patterson. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. And the Clippers lead by 16.
Hey, who's watching CJ?
Out to the right wing. Canner, high post. It's McCollum on the wing. Unloads. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the...
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
Yo, I'm the 2K.
The Dallas Mavericks arriving at the building earlier today. The Peaches and nothing.
Hey, Kevin.
There's been a transformation here in L.A. There is no doubt about that. D.A., thank you. Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. They've got Porzingis, Josh Richardson out there with Doncic. Then there's Cauley Stein, and it's Finney Smith in at the small forward spot. And for the Clippers, they've got Ivica Zubac. Jackson is out there with Paul George. Then there's Batum, and it's Leonard in at the 3. And so it's the Mavericks getting on the board first. Left side, George over Richardson, and that's off the glass and in. Greg, we're still involved in the conference system. Does it hold relevance as we're looking here at the standings mid-season?
You know, for travel distance, yes, and there's also some tradition at stake. I mean, look, that said, in a perfect world, you'd like to see the best 16 teams make the playoffs each year, but we've had, you know, imbalance in conferences forever, so that's not going to change, but sometimes change is just necessary.
How about quickly for the playoffs? Would you like to reseed and take the top 6 teams, 1 through 16?
I would. I think that'd be a great idea.
First quarter, just over a minute played. With the putback. Great positioning on the putback.
How about the anticipation and the timing there? He is all over it.
Back to George. Takes the 3. No good that time. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And that was a tough one. They expected to play well and did, just not well enough.
You know what? At the end of the day, it wasn't as close as it should have been. There were lapses all night that led to the deficit they couldn't overcome.
And it's the Clippers with the ball. The Mavericks making the shot. And George gets it to go.
Silky smooth jumper from Paul George, and he just lets it fly whenever he gets free from that spot.
And Doncic, here we go. Great D that time from Batum.
Boy, in that close, he's almost automatic. Boy, that's pretty good defense. Wow.
It's George on the wing. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Dallas.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
Nice work inside by Cauley Stein. Great tools as a finisher. And last year, Dallas gave Porzingis the contract he was looking for to the tune of $158 million.
And Greg, credit the Dallas organization for believing in Kristaps Porzingis' talent. And now credit Porzingis, because you have to share shot attempts and usage with Luka Doncic. What has he done? He's concentrated on better rebounding, better rim protecting. This guy is all in on winning, and what a combination these two guys can be. Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
Zubac, that's good.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack, and where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And the rejection by Zubac. And here we go. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Porzingis.
Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing, and his defense always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Morris comes in for Leonard. Kennard, he's checked in for George. Lou Williams is up in for Jackson. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And checking out the numbers for Brunson. Some impressive play from him over the last month. He's averaging 15 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. He's been nothing short of fantastic during that stretch. Offense coming very easily for him.
And so much of it, to me, is his ability to read the floor, make the right decision, and then go right after the action he wants.
Now here's Williams. A 14-point game for him in the win against Dallas. Williams against Brunson. To the inside. Powell, that's good.
You love how Powell goes to work on the block, muscles his way to establish himself and deliver.
Down low. Patterson can't get it to go.
Boy, he did everything right till he got to the rim. He needs to finish that.
Powell inside. Patterson defending. And Kleba slams it in.
Straight rim rocker.
It looked like, Greg, for a second, like he might rip the cylinder loose. 29 seconds left here in the first quarter. Outside Williams. 5 on the clock. Goes up on the wing. And too long on the shot.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Kennard on the wing. No good again that time. And so it's the Dallas Mavericks with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. We've got more in store for you right after this. And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
Playing inside out in that first quarter led to some high percentage shots in the paint.
It is great when you can get that established early, because to me it opens up every other aspect of your game.
On the court for Dallas here in the second, Jalen Brunson out there with Hardaway. Then there's Maxi Kleber. Then there's Doncic, and it's Powell in at the center. Williams can't get it to go. Mavericks leading by 6. Here's Hardaway, and the Mavericks getting another bucket right there.
Well, don't get caught up in the long-range shooting. Hardaway Jr. has that in-between game. Really nice shot.
And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. That's his first foul, and it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. George against Hardaway. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now, here's Doncic. To the left side wing. Clock at 6. Runs in the pass to Doncic. And the rejection by Zubac. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
Boy, that open look set up by Kawhi Leonard, that's probably the most underrated aspect of his game.
George against Doncic. Pass to Powell. Here's Kleber. No good from outside. Clippers trail by 6.
And Doris, as if it were destiny, Kleber grew up in the same hometown as Mavs legend Dirk Nowitzki.
And this is a fun and extraordinary story to tell, because in 2017, Kleber texted with Nowitzki before signing with Dallas. But though they come from the same town, they didn't know each other until they became teammates. That's extraordinary. I'll tell you, Luka Doncic makes tough shots look easy. Boy, that close to the bucket through that much contact, nice.
Now here's Jackson. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Dallas. Well, Greg, with your son getting drafted, you joined the ranks of some historic NBA father-son duo.
You know, I got the opportunity to play with Arvydas Sabonis in Portland, and remember Domantas as a little kid.
No
and now
kidding.
He's an all-star last year. And, you know, I think you're going to have an influx of that in the coming years. Dwayne Wade's son is a terrific player. We know about LeBron's son's ability. He's possibly heading to the league one day. You just never know. I'm as a dad, it's going to get the opportunity to watch his son play, excited, but I think you're going to see more of this in the future.
Cole and Greg Anthony. I like the way that sounds. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. George looking over the floor. Plenty of space. They get it back. Zubac. Outside, George. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Back to Batum. On the wing, George. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Dallas. Porzingis has got 4 rebounds in this game.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backcourt. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Boy, what you really like about Porzingis going end-to-end, he does it under control, right? This guy is 7 feet and masterful in space.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Mavericks leading by 6. Stolen by Jackson and stolen by Richardson. Johnson, the pass to Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
You know, at 7'3", yes, he can dunk, but with that athleticism and his sense for the dramatic and his flair, look out, folks, he can be special.
Now, here is George. He has 6. Porzingis with the block.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Here's Richardson. That one good for 2. Richardson's got the lead up to 10 now for Dallas.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
The 3 from George. Buries it from three-point range. George has got 5 points in the quarter.
I'll tell you, his ability to stretch the floor is crucial to this team. Pretty play.
Inside, and the dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now here's Leonard. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
And he caused major problems with his defense as well. He had 4 steals by the time the game was over.
For Los Angeles, they have been solid at the line so far. 4 for 4.
How about Kawhi Leonard? How many guys in the history of their career can say, I was an NBA Finals MVP at 22 and then an NBA Finals MVP at 27? Simply incredible. Well, there's an aggressive mentality in play. Work in close, find a way to score.
Williams against Richardson. Pass to Morris. It's his first trip to the line.
And to look at his percentage from the line, you see him at 89%. That's an indicator of what a consistent stroke he has.
Marcus Morris has proven that he can be effective in any system in the NBA, understands his role as a stretch 4. Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
A big-time effort for Porzingis, providing a lot of energy for Dallas. Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq. Dallas has the edge here at halftime. They have a nice 7-point lead. And Shaq, what did you... That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter.
We played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. 7-point differential. Our second half of basketball. And presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. And there's Jackson. Then it's Paul George. And it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. Now Doncic. After the missed 3 from Reggie Jackson. Doncic passes to Porzingis. And the shot is good. Porzingis has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Mavs.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
Come get it, come get it.
Outside, George. From deep. It's rebounded by Dallas.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
Doncic against George. And Doncic gets it to go.
We know this. Doncic is an aggressive, thirsty scorer. If you allow airspace, even in the mid-range, he's going to make you pay.
Here's Jackson. It's rebounded by Doncic.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3.
Tries from 16. Burke, the pass to Porzingis. Stolen by Jackson. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Don't you love it when you've got a small forward who can pass the basketball just like Paul George did there? Makes it look easy.
Poked away. Doncic kicks to a 1-2. And that's a foul called on Porzingis. And that'll be his third foul so far. And Los Angeles with some changes. Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Williams in for Jackson. Now, here's George. 9 points in the game so far.
Not how they hoped to start this half. 1 for 5, brick after brick. Let's start building the building.
And when you watch Hardaway shoot, one thing that stands out, he has a very quick release.
And Greg, that's what makes the jumper very tough to contest, especially when he's dialing it up from range. You have to stay connected to this guy defensively. It's not easy to do with the other weapons on this team.
Yeah, it's been about the fast break. Been real kind to him here early, and they are clicking in transition.
The deep three from George. Los Angeles with another miss.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
Now, here's Doncic. It's stolen by Morris. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for Luka Doncic. And Josh Richardson subbed in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Kennard up top. To the paint. Here's Oturu. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
James Johnson's checked in for Dallas. The Clippers have been at their finest form at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes. Greg, can you really compare players from completely different eras? I mean, people love to talk about the greatest of all time.
You know, Kev, some players do transcend eras. There's no doubt about that. Wilt's a great example, and there are many others. But in reality, to your point, the style and the way in which the game was played was so different that it isn't fair. I mean, all you can be is the best of your generation or one of the best, and I think that should stand no matter what the conversation is.
Like, there's no doubt in your mind Oscar Robertson could play in this era as well as he played when he played.
No doubt. Bill Russell, all those guys.
Yes,
truly
yes.
Great ones. So much of your ability to perform at a high level is built around your confidence and your belief in your abilities. And those guys had it as much as anybody who's ever played the game. You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish in transition, nice and easy.
And here's Brunson. He has 6. Here's Richardson. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Richardson's got 10 points.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
And there's the foul. It's on Jalen Brunson. And that'll be his third foul so far. Dallas making a switch here. Burks is checked in. And they double up Jackson. Fires for 3. Up again. It's good on the putback. Batum's got his second bucket of the night.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And so they foul intentionally. 35 seconds left in the third. Burke with it, working on Williams. Burke dishes to Powell. Tries from 7. Yep, it goes, and the Dallas lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from George.
The speed in transition. Paul George is dynamic in space.
Now here's Burke. He's guarded by Williams. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Yeah, easy call.
Dallas shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
Well, this is a decent free throw shooter. And where Powell could help himself is getting to the line a little bit more.
And here are the Clippers now. Here's Jackson. And good that time. He's got 10.
Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. Mavericks lead by 7. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Well, we have some elite passing big men in the NBA, and you love that skill. Wow.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks, as always, for joining us. On the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. Hardaway is out there with Richardson. Then there's Cauley Stein. And there's Porzingis. And it's Finney-Smith in at the 3 spot. And Morris throws it down.
Mr. Morris leaves no doubt.
Dallas leading by 7. Richardson outside. And the pass to Finney-Smith. Pass to Porzingis. The shot, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. It's Williams with the drive, and he banks in the layup.
The ability to convert with bodies around you, so significant. Lou Williams.
Al Richardson to the middle. Here's Finney-Smith. 5 to shoot. And the layup falls. Clippers trail by 7. Mann passes to Morris. Here's Mann.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason, I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit. That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Josh Richardson. Now, here's George. Well-placed alley-oop pass into the layup.
Oh, just a picture-perfect alley-oop. You gotta love that.
A little surprised, Greg. He didn't go for the big slam, but it works just the same. Here's Doncic. Right block shot. Score of the basket, his 5th of the game. He's missed 6 shots against those 5 makes.
There's no quitting this guy. He just gives you great effort, and he continues to give you great production.
George. And the shot goes down.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Jalen Brunson. He's checked in for Hardaway. That free throw good from George.
To think that at one point, after that horrific leg injury, Paul George, there was some doubt whether he could regain the level of play we're accustomed to. But this guy gets better and better.
Now, here's Doncic out to the right wing. Here's Brunson. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Zubac has got his 6th rebound on the night. It's George on the wing. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
We see Paul George just understands how to use his length and his size. He is such a tough cover close to the basket.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
You must embrace the pressure and knock down critical free throws. Nicely done.
George against Doncic. Got a piece of it, and he gets it back. And gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line. And here we go. A coach's challenge has been initiated. We'll have to now review the personal foul in question.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving. and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. He's pleased that they're getting consistent points in the paint. He said, in this league, it's not easy to do what you guys are doing. Let's just keep doing it until they stop us. Kevin?
Thank you, David. That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
And I think for Luka Doncic, one thing he showed right away is he was prepared to be an NBA player. And the fact of the matter is he could be an all-star for a long time moving forward.
Now, here is George. Outside Leonard. Inside. A nice shot by Kevin Gelly.
Yeah, this offense is rolling. They've been assertive, but they're also playing under control.
I think the communication on offense is working at every level right now. What a run for this group.
Here's Doncic after the basket by Los Angeles. To the left wing. Brunson finds Doncic. Lets it go from 14. Oturu with the rebound. What an opportunity here.
Yeah, a chance to take the lead. This is huge.
It's George on the wing. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Doncic outside. Over Williams. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on Lou Williams.
We are talking about a clever scorer. Luka Doncic has developed such a knack for getting to the free throw line.
Williams with the ball. Here's Leonard. Williams trying to break free, and it's Leonard missing. And so it's Porzingis. He'll bring it up for the Mavericks. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
I mean, the potential of Kristaps Porzingis, to me, could be terrifying as an opponent. This guy is an incredible big man with the ability to dominate both ends. I cannot wait to see what's next.
Here's Kevin Gelly. Williams passes to George. Got it! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Oh, he is just so clutch, saving his best for when the pressure is at its highest.
And I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
Yeah, smart move. Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, the crucial part of those free throws is that it now makes it a 2-possession game.
From deep, George. But they'll get another chance. Good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
To me, more often than not, when you attack, good things happen.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Those free throws are the nail in the coffin, guys.
George way outside. Offensive rebound. Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 4. 3 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, they'll need a very quick basket out of this timeout.
Three from the inbound. Not going to go that time. So a close game sees Dallas taking this one. A truly gutsy performance. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. coming up next. We hope you're wearing the green today on this spin. Now let's take a look at some of the numbers for Paul George.
And he's lost some of his feel for the three-point shot. It's been a tough month for him from long range compared to earlier in the season. And now he might be starting to press, which can lead to even more problems.
And now the Lakers starting group. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. Marc Gasol is out there with Markieff Morris. And it's Schroeder in at the point guard. And for the Clippers, Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Jackson in at the 1.
And with a good mix of power and agility, Leonard can throw it down with the best of them.
On the wing, James. And the dunk by James.
He's not a guy who's going to sit back and settle for jumpers. He's going to get to the bucket every time he can.
Here's George. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Two of the NBA's elite teams meeting up here tonight, Chris. A lot of people think they'll see each other in the playoffs. That adds an element of intrigue in this one.
You're right, Kevin. Absolutely right. I mean, you know these teams have the big picture in mind. They're thinking about that potential playoff matchup down the road.
And now the Clippers on the break. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. George has got his second basket of the night. LeBron James on the wing. And the dunk by James.
Man, you gotta love watching James sky for the slam. I mean, demonstrating how high he can get up off the drive.
And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
For the Lakers, they won their last contest, that game against the Timberwolves. His second miss, now 2 of 4 on the game. The drive by Jackson, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
You can't leave somebody that wide open when Jackson's running the show. Reggie will find him every time.
James looking it over. Down low, and the dunk by James.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. George, no good. The Lakers have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. James wide open. It's rebounded by Leonard.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Oh, that was something else.
And putting his explosive athleticism on full display there. George is capable of some highlight reel dunks.
Now here's LeBron. He had 25 points in the win against Minnesota.
And just like you'd want to see assertive basketball.
He threw that one down, Greg, so hard you could feel the strength over here. And Morris has got the ball here for the Los Angeles Lakers. Trailing by 2. Last time they met was in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Well, how often do you hear it? You know, you got to take care of the basketball. I mean, they got to be much more disciplined tonight.
Here's Batum following the basket by Marc Gasol. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
James dishes to Schroeder. LeBron against Leonard. And the dunk by James.
If you're the defense, what can you do? James is too strong, too focused on these finishes.
Clippers have gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame.
Hey, yo, right here.
George against LeBron. This is his first free throw of the game.
And just a top-notch free throw shooter this year, all the way up there at 88%.
And the first one at the line is good.
And, you know, you go back to that horrific leg injury in Vegas back in 2014, and Paul George hasn't just made it back to the NBA. He's come back a better player.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Kuzma with it. Williams picks him up. There's 48 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Harrell, and that comes off the assist by Jones.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Now Williams, 14 points from him the last game against the Mavericks in Dallas. And here's George for 3. A rebound by the Lakers.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Outside, Jones wants to get it to Morris and does. Here's Mann. It's blocked.
An average shot blocker. I mean, you want Kuzma to use his vertical, more to redirect shots.
Here's Horton Tucker, and he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the LA Clippers. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that. And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers, guys.
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
With the game being fast-paced these days, you can expect this from a lot of teams, but they did it very well.
So on the floor for the Lakers to start this second quarter, Kyle Kuzma is out there with Harrell. Then it's Jones. And it's Horton Tucker in at the shooting guard position. Patterson against Jones. Patterson can't get it to go. The Lakers in the lead. Kuzma passes to Jones. Here's Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Pass to Kennard. Outside Williams, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact. And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at. And how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. Horton Tucker, the pass to Harrell. It's good. Harrell's got 4 points this quarter.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Passes to George. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Greg, how special was it for you that you had your number 50 retired at UNLV?
You know, that's something I can honestly say. As a kid, you dream about a lot of things. Winning, you know, playing at the highest levels. That's something I never really fathomed, is to have your jersey hanging up in an arena. That was a surreal moment, a really cool moment, and it was awesome to be able to share it with my family and friends.
And people probably don't know that you grew up in Las Vegas, so it was probably doubly special, wasn't it?
Exactly. Born and raised.
And George gets it to go.
And guys, when George gets cooking, you are in for a long night. He's just fantastic at finding different ways to score.
And here is Harrell. Turned in an outstanding game against Minnesota. Kuzma passes to Harrell. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Harrell's got the lead up to 6 now for the Lakers. Matthews against George. And George with the stuff.
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
Matthews passes to Schroeder. To the wing on the left. Batum with the steal. 1:53 left in the first half. Pass to Zubac. Clippers moving the ball around. Nobody near George. Hits it from three-point range. And now just a 1-point Laker lead. Schroeder looking around. Harrell up top. That one doesn't drop. And the Clippers will come the other way. I want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Well, you look at the points they produced in that game. Great adjustments on the offensive end.
In-game adjustments are critical. They did an awesome job taking what the defense gave them.
Matthews against George. And Matthews kicks to Kuzma. No good. They had a chance to end the run there. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Patterson, he's checked in for Zubac. Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for George. Lou Williams is subbed in for Jackson. The Clippers have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Patterson against Gasol. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And rightfully so. Also, how lackluster was the defense right there with the score this tight?
Here's Gasol. Good work defensively by Morris.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And there's the foul. It goes on Wesley Matthews. That's his first foul. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Clippers ahead. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He ended up with 17 points and 1 rebound. And a little redemption. That's all for now. Say goodbye.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. You look at Paul George in this game, guys. He's been everywhere.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Reggie Jackson. Batum is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. And it's Leonard in at the small forward. Offensive rebound. Leonard drops in the layup for 2. Leonard's got his third basket of the night.
And that's the activity on the offensive glass they like to see out of Kawhi. When he's in full hustle mode, they're a much stronger team.
James, no good.
That's a shot they're always happy to get, even when he blows the finish.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And how about them not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
Here's LeBron, and LeBron throws it down.
I like to say I'm blown away, but honestly, with LeBron, a game like this is just par for the course.
Here's Jackson, and Jackson throws it down hard.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Well, he makes the basics look pretty exceptional. Her passes to Caldwell Pope. Morris with the ball. James in the post. Leonard's there. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
The DS no shot is stopping James when he gets that low in that position. He's too big, too strong in the paint. You got to foul him.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Morris is checked in. Outside, George. And he's good on the 3-ball. George has got the lead up to 5 now for the Clippers.
And that makes him 4 for 5. I mean, I think that's pretty good numbers. I mean, they've got to be pleased with how things are playing off so far.
Leonard with the steal. To the inside. Lays it in off a pretty alley-oop. And the Clippers lead by 7.
Yeah, I love the court awareness from Kawhi there. Dependable at getting it to his uncovered teammates.
Got a piece of it. The Clippers grab the miss.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Oh, you got to be cautious around James. He's always on the hunt to swat away shots. Defense in your rear view may be closer than they appear.
And that's a terrific sequence at both ends there. There was the block shot, then the run out, and nice finish on the break.
Leonard the pass to Zubac. And Jones pulls it down. Lakers trail by 5. Here's Caruso. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Just the kind of play they need in a game this close.
You know, that's the kind of aggression they want from their floor leader.
This is why they go to him when the game is tight. He ups his intensity level.
Williams, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. On the wing, Williams. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. 6 to shoot. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession. Greg, you were a physical, defensive-minded player. What are your thoughts on how closely the game is called now as opposed to when you played?
It is, Kevin, and yeah, some people like the physicality of the era I played in, but, you know, I like the beauty of the game with the spacing and the freedom of movement, and I think that's one reason why you see so much switching. It's hard to fight through screens without fouling, and ball handlers have become experts at drawing contact, even if it's, you know, incidental, and I think that's just an area where the game has changed so much that ability to play in space is so vital. Oh, and he went for the 2-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Goes up at the stripe. They grab their own miss. Patterson. And just miss after miss right now. Lakers have gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third. A 75% clip. Harrell slams it in.
Really like that work there in the paint. He has really established a low post presence.
Outside Williams to the paint. Here's Patterson. A rebound by the Lakers. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. And Harrell slams it in.
And guys, not much more a defender can do in that situation. Harrell with the focus and the strength to just power through the contact.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. To the middle. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
And you can tell he feels he should have had it still. The hustle was impressive.
Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Morris. And then for the Lakers, Marc Gasol's checked in for Alfonso McKinney. Caldwell Pope comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Alex Caruso. Schroeder passes to Harrell. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Batum. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. Just 4 seconds left in the third quarter.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Yeah, and I have too, which is why they're okay with it. I'm sure if he gets that kind of look again, he's going to let it fly again.
Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. Here's George. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. They've got Marc Gasol. Harrell is out there with Kyle Kuzma. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. And it's Caldwell Pope in at the shooting guard.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
So it's the Clippers now. 6-point game. Harrell against George. And Gasol sends it back.
Wow, trying to challenge Gasol, big-time two-way player. He gets it done on both ends.
Caldwell Pope against Batum. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Stolen by Zubac. Leonard kicks to Batum. Back to Leonard. Three-pointer. Kuzma pulls it in.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Jackson against Schroeder. Batum with the steal. Outside Leonard. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. That one on Caldwell Pope.
And at about 230 pounds, Leonard is a well-built specimen. Can absorb defenders like it's nothing.
James checked in for the Lakers. So it's the Lakers now. 3-point lead. Schroeder finds James. Tipped away. The finish, and it's Leonard with the jam.
The giant wingspan and hands of Leonard, those help so much when he's on the break.
Schroeder with the ball. George picks him up. Caldwell Pope passes to James. And the dunk by LeBron.
Okay, two hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. And here's George for three. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
The Lakers shooting an incredible 64% from the field in this game. LeBron against Leonard. LeBron outside to the inside. Harrell kicks to LeBron. 6 on the shot clock. And James throws it down.
You can't get James a lane to the basket. He's exceptionally quick at attacking on the drive.
Outside, George. Oh, he just jams it right over LeBron. Wow.
And guys, George takes pride in hitting big shots. Just get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Schroeder up top, guarded by Jackson. The drive by James, and finished off by LeBron.
Love the attitude of James. When it's an important moment, he demands the rock and delivers.
And that's an intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Williams, he's checked in for the Clippers. And the Lakers also making a switch. Alfonso McKinney's checked in for Harrell. .156 left in the fourth quarter. George against LeBron. George looking around. Good work there as it goes. George has got 24 points.
Nice play by George. This is what size on the wing gives you. The option to pick your spot anywhere on the floor.
Caldwell Pope dishes to LeBron. 1:30 left in the fourth quarter. And contact up. The coach's challenge has been issued. First game like this, under the wire, this is what it's for.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Tyronn Lue as he talked with the team. This game is obviously close, could go either way, and he wanted to make sure that his guys were all on the same page and were all staying with the game plan in order to close this one out. Kevin?
He's able to hit the second one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Clippers have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Schroeder against Williams. Outside, George. Trey. Good D by LeBron.
The ill-advised threes isn't how you want to close the gap. You've got to have better shot selection.
Here's Leonard. It falls! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
That's why they put the ball in his hand. They know they can count on him to make crucial shots.
Here's LeBron.
James is such a powerful player. Amazing at how he draws contact in the middle.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Those are big. Turns into a 2-possession game.
Williams kicks to George. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. We've got 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. The pass to James. Leonard with the steal.
Can't waste any time here.
And you're right. They desperately need a bucket, and every second matters.
Pass to Oturu. And here's George for 3. They get it again. It's good on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
And now they foul and stop the clock.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
It's the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
And Caldwell Pope is a guy you cannot leave open at any time. He's just a very good shooter from any spot on the floor. You got to just have a sense of calm at the line. He has it here, and he just put the game to bed.
And so it's the Lakers who come out on top here. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.
Welcome back to 2K TV, Jason Tatum, and welcome back to 2K21. What's your My Player build this year?
I like the rebounding.
Our cameras caught the Clippers arriving at their building and coming through the tunnel. And here's a look at some numbers for Paul George.
And guys, his effective field goal percentage is trending in the wrong direction over the past 5 games. Shot discipline hasn't been the best. They'll be looking to play a smarter game tonight.
The starters for the Portland Trail Blazers. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Enes Kanter is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Jones in at the 3. And for the Clippers, they've got Paul George. Batum is out there with Kawhi Leonard. And there's Jackson, and it's Zubac in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Good.
And usually amongst the leaders in their offensive rebound rate, Kanter gives your team found points off misses.
Leonard on the wing. Lillard against Jackson. Pass to George. From downtown, Lillard with the rebound. And it's Lillard with the ball. He brings it up for the Trailblazers, and it's blocked. George looking over the floor. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
In OKC, Paul George showed he could be an MVP caliber performer. With Kawhi on the Clippers, he could be that 1B or that 1A.
And PG, you know, he has the versatility to succeed in different roles. Doesn't have to dominate the ball.
Yes, and if anything, he's more comfortable scoring within the flow of the offense. With his all-around impact, doesn't need to force things to make winning plays. But if you need him to, he can. Not the efficient start they were hoping for. Only 1 for 4 from the field.
And it's George finishing it off.
And with those long strides, it takes Paul George no time to get to the rim.
Lillard against George. And the shot goes in.
I thought for sure the defense was going to send that one back. But he somehow got that one up, over the D, and in.
Outside, George. Off target with his 3.
The defense got lucky there. That's one you expect him to drain.
Batum against Kanter. Excellent D from Kanter.
Shut down. This is the way you play defense. This is how you protect the rim.
And yes, it's good.
And we talk about court awareness. There, McCollum doing a beautiful job spotting the open man.
McCollum against George. Basket, good. George has got 6.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rag. And where's the help defensively?
No excuse. You have to be aware. He should be on your radar all the time. It's been a rough quarter for him. Can't seem to find any kind of rhythm.
And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Covington down low. Guarded by Jackson. Covington with the bucket. With COVID shortening the season and the schedule, Steve, being tinkered with, do you think the NBA will make permanent changes to the season schedule?
Kevin, I don't think so. When everything gets back to normal, I think we'll be at 82 games and start, you know, like we usually do in October, September for games. I just think the NBA has done a fantastic job of being able to adapt to this situation.
And when Lillard sees an opening, he takes full advantage, skilled at drawing contact.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers.
He's living there tonight, a tough guy to guard without fouling. And the bonus, he's going to knock him down.
And Williams, here we go. And Kanter pulls it down. Kanter's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Anthony, the pass to Kanter. The layup missed.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And the call, and yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Hood with it, guarded now by Morris. Simons, the pass to Cantor. Here's Simons. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Out to Hood. The pass to Anthony. Shot clock at 6. Down low. Cantor's shot is off. So for the Trailblazers, their last game, a win against the Pelicans. Leonard uses the glass to finish the layup.
The power, the length, the ability to finish. Leonard dominant in that painted area.
Here's Simons, and it's in there.
Poor interior defense. If you play him soft, he's going to kill you.
Now, here's George. He's guarded closely. Pass to Zubac, and the dunk by Zubac.
Well, Paul knows the defense is locked in on him, so he takes advantage and finds the open man.
Here's Simons. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game.
And once he gets clear off the screen, there is no stopping him.
No, not when there's a flush waiting to happen.
That's a big-time move and a big-time finish.
Inside, Leonard with the steal. It's the end of the first with a tie game here. And already these offenses are clicking. Don't go anywhere, folks. And before the game, we ran into Damian Lillard, who touched upon.
What we've learned is staying together.
And Greg, of course, he helps keep everyone on the same page.
He communicates well with his teammates, and he listens. That's why they trust him. The discussions go both ways.
And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Attacking, drawing fouls. They won that first quarter at the line.
Some people might feel they got some hometown calls, but when your team is pushing the action, you often get the benefit of the doubt.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for the Trailblazers, we've got Rodney Hood, Anthony out there with Enes Kanter, and it's Trent in at the 2 guard.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Simons, guarded by Jackson. Simons, the pass to Kanter. Paul George with the steal. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one's on Anthony.
The aggressive approach. Leonard pushing the action, rewarded with the foul call.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And they have really leaned on his free throw shooting at times this season. He's been there for them, too, with 88% from the line.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Marcus Morris. Luke Kennard comes in for George. Lou Williams is subbed in for Jackson. And it's Leonard. That time on the assist from Williams. Leonard's got 7 now in this quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Lou Williams, so crafty, GA, just a knack for putting the ball in the basket.
This guy just has the gift. I mean, it's been that way forever. He is just a born scorer.
Stolen by McCollum. They're running. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
And Williams, here we go, lays it up and banks it in. Williams has got his first bucket of the night.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
Kicks it out to Covington. He's looking for McCollum and finds him. Passes it to Kanter over Williams. Back to Kanter. Clock at 6. Jones against Leonard. 3-pointer, Lillard. Offensive rebound.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Pulls up on the wing. The shot by Williams, no good. Portland trailing here. Here's McCollum. And that comes off the assist by Jones. McCollum's got his second bucket of the night.
Nice touch there from McCollum. Looking comfortable and confident from that range.
And Williams, here we go. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Clippers lead by 1. For Portland, they've gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second. 5 of 10. Williams against Lillard. The dish to Cantor. Good on the bucket. Cantor's got his third basket of the night right there.
And that's just all muscle there. Cantor is solid at fighting his way through whatever the D throws at him.
Here's Williams. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
Shutout in the first quarter. He's heating up now. I like the aggressiveness.
Lillard against Williams. Pulls up. Misses off the right iron.
Missing that one helps out all the analytical guys from the mid-range.
And finished off by Leonard.
Pushing the action. Always working for the best shot. Nice drive by Kawhi.
There's 47 seconds left to play here in the half. Drills the three-pointer.
Here in the second quarter, he's looking much more comfortable with his offense.
Here's Williams. That's good, and it's his 4th basket of the game. He's a strong 4 for 6.
He's given a great lift to this offense tonight. Very, very efficient.
Lillard attacking on the money from 12 feet away. Lillard's got the game tied up here for Portland.
In this period, they're feeding him, and he's feeling it.
Over in the corner, Batum. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Last time they came together was in Los Angeles, where they fell to the Clippers.
Yeah, they were just wrecked last time they faced this team, and a lot of it was their own undoing.
It was a sizable loss, and it was mostly due to their awful passing and ball control. They just need to use better judgment in this game.
In Portland, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
And, you know, Cantor can dominate on the court, but his real passion may be pro wrestling. He even held a pro title belt for a little while. He's a big, strong fella. I know I wouldn't want to be in the ring with him.
And so it's Damian Lillard making... Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball. Follow it.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to... Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. We were talking about him after his last game. And that'll...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. We're seeing a tremendous game from Damian Lillard.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
They've got Ivica Zubac. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Batum. Then it's Paul George, and it's Jackson in at the point. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
So smart with the ball in his hands. George reads the floor well and takes advantage of what's there.
Lillard dishes to Cantor. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Zubac has got his 6th rebound on the night. And George, here we go. And George with the stuff.
It's amazing everything Leonard gives you, including the eyes to find the open man.
And guys, even though he's in a big market, Kawhi Leonard's still not one for the spotlight.
That is so true. It's not about the fame for him. He's in LA, but Kawhi Leonard stays in his bubble. All the trappings that come with being a great player, he's truly focused on the love of the game, winning and being the best possible player he can be. Excellent concentration from Paul George, overwhelming the aggressive defense with his strength and determination.
And Lillard throws it down.
Big hops from the backcourt.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe just what they need to get this game, GA, going in their direction.
It's a tight contest. Those type of plays can fire up your team and swing momentum.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Pass to Cantor. McCollum up top, defended by Batum. Here's Cantor. It's hauled in by Zubats. Zubats has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And it's George finishing it off.
Capable of flat out torching you. Once PG-13 gets into a groove, watch out.
Lillard scanning the floor. Over George. Stolen by George. Leonard the pass to George. Off target, his 6th miss and 13 attempts from the floor. Here's Covington. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Greg, we hear this a lot. It's almost too popular now to say good offense beats good defense. Being a defensive-minded player yourself, do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, Kevin. And the thing is, in today's game, when I played, there was an era, you could hold teams in the 80s and 90s. You could go a quarter and keep them at 12, 15 points. You can't do that now. It's different. You've got to be able to win stretches of 2 and 3 minutes. And honestly, you're right. The offense does dictate far more, but it doesn't discount the importance of defense. If you still look at the reigning champs and the teams that have won titles recently, that's still one area that they're consistent in, is their defensive approach. And last year showed that there's still a place in the NBA for a guy like Melo, mostly a mid-range shooter in the league that has turned away from that. But buckets are buckets, and Melo can still light it up.
Covington into the lane. And there's the pass to Simons. Makes it off the glass. Simons has got the lead up to 4 now for the Trailblazers.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
George passes to Patterson. Shoots over Covington. Outside Williams. And Patterson kicks to George. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. George has got 18 points in the game. Well, Carmelo Anthony was out of the NBA for about a year, calendar-wise. Greg, were you surprised it took him so long to get a look and get back in the NBA?
Kevin, I wasn't shocked, but absolutely I was surprised. I mean, it was always going to take the right fit for Melo and the right team. And in this case, it was the Blazers. But Melo showed he has legs left in the league and can still be a positive.
And the Clippers making a change here. Kennard's checked in. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Jones checked in for Hood. Williams, that's good.
The thing about Lou Williams, he sort of glides around, and suddenly he hits the turbojets.
Here's Simons. He's guarded by Williams. And that one is stuffed right through.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. It's stolen by Anthony. And oh, here we go. Covington's got it. The fast break chance. Yep, that one goes in there. Now it's a 6-point Trailblazer lead.
And what a half for this offense. If they can stay this hot, a great chance to extend this lead.
Morris kicks to Kennard. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Robert Covington picks one up.
Trying to defend Kennard. You know he can hit shots with limited space. That helps him get you off balance.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Cantor's checked in. And Simons has got the ball here for the Portland Trailblazers. 4-point game. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. And that game will kick off a 4-game homestand. Cantor tried to tip it in, but couldn't quite get it. And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Terry Stotts had some advice for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
Defensively, you got to give a little more.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ball game. And on the floor for Portland here in the 4th. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Jones. And it's Cantor in at the center, locking down the middle. Batum finds George. And George with the stuff.
I mean, he is explosive with his leaping ability. Paul George is well-versed in finishing above the rim.
Lillard attacking. Count that one.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Jackson passes to Zubac. George against McCollum. And that one, good. George has got 22 points.
At 6'8", Paul George is a threat inside, looking very comfortable from in there.
Jackson against McCollum. Lays it up off the glass.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Clippers trail by 4. Outside, George. And it's George finishing it off.
So comfortable in pick and roll. Paul George is a top-level ball handler who consistently makes the right play.
To the middle. And Cantor throws it down.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
This is a close-knit group. They feed off one another's energy.
And they've controlled the glass throughout this game, but it's still close.
Covington finds Cantor. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Always up there among the leaders in steals. Leonard gets his team out in transition.
Lillard against George. With some arc. Doesn't get it to drop for him. So the Clippers will take it the other way. And it's George finishing it off.
And it's really hard to knock George off his balance. He's just so long and strong. Nice take there.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. Anthony drives in. Here's Little. Trent passes to Little. Paul George with the steal. And here we go. Clippers running again to take the lead. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. And the Clippers lead by 2.
There's a certain resiliency to this team, and you're starting to see it.
Well within striking range. Now is when you have to lock in at both ends.
Williams, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. Leonard on the wing. Outside, Batum. Outside, George. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
The consummate team player, Paul George, is an excellent leader, and he's cool to let others lead also.
And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, that's who you want stepping to the line when the game is close.
.135 left in the 4th quarter. Kicks it to Little. Will it go? Batum grabs the miss.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
And now they decide to foul intentionally. He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
With Kawhi, you love his talent, but just as important, you love the basketball IQ and work ethic.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
Adding a little cushion to their advantage. Nice work at the line.
Here's Lillard, and then Lillard slams it in.
Proof positive that Lillard is worthy. That's talent you can build a franchise around.
Now here's Williams. Leonard, the pass to Zubac. It's deflected. And now Portland on the break. Here's Cantor. Kicks it out to Jones. Pass to McCollum over George. The putback, got it. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
And his teammates love it. Cantor taking charge on a huge possession. You can just see him brimming with confidence, not afraid of the big moment.
Good.
That is world class.
Incredible shot with everything on the line coming through for his team.
Here's Lillard. Money.
This is what he's known for. When it's an important possession, Lillard knows how to come through.
Leonard on the wing. Passes it to Zubac. It's in!
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Reason why they've tightened up the vice grip a little more each time up the floor. We'll see if they can close this one out.
And here is Williams. Leonard, the pass to Williams. So it's Los Angeles taking the W in a close hit. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is...